You thought you knew every OMG detail about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's disastrous marriage. Jan Moir writes that a new fly-on-the-wall story will change your perspective. Whatever Johnny Depp and Amber Heard do next, they will be remembered as the bickering divorcees who fought it out in court on both sides of the Atlantic. The world watched in horror as gruesome details emerged of a 2-year marriage riddled with paranoia, drugs, drunkenness, and allegations of abuse, featuring a barrage of wine decanters, champagne and vodka bottles, as well as mobile phones and flower vases. Curses were hurled, as were accusations of Hollywood's most feared transgression. Yes, Amber once told Johnny he was getting fat. Lit cigarettes were allegedly used as weapons. Johnny drank mega pints of wine. Mashed potato was inexplicably smeared over doors, while fights took place on board private jets, in hotel rooms, on trains, in penthouses, and even once in a caravan, when the tip of Depp's finger was severed during one skirmish in a mansion on the Pimpama River in Australia. He used the bloody stub to write on the walls, an all-too-literal portrayal of his pain. Even the couple's Yorkshire Terriers, Boo and Pistol, were caught up in the chaos. Boo supposedly ate a cannabis lump, while Depp was said to have once held Pistol out the window of a speeding automobile. In his latest book, Depp v. Heard, The Unreal Story, Nick Wally's deadpans, causing some distress to its occupants and possibly the dog. Wally's was the only journalist who covered both trials in depth, giving him a unique viewpoint on these incredible events. He was at the High Court in London virtually every day in the summer of 2020, watching Depp lose his libel lawsuit against the Sun tabloid over charges of domestic violence. 2 years later he was there every day in Fairfax County, Virginia, where Depp won his defamation case against Heard over an article she wrote for the Washington Post. Claiming to be a victim of domestic abuse, Depp alleged that not only was this untrue, but that it was he who had been abused by her, and the jury agreed with him. He was awarded compensation of £12 million, later reduced to £8.3 million. Somehow, Wally's has wrangled the anomaly of these two differing verdicts along with hundreds of hours of torrid evidence into a fluent narrative that depicts what happens when a marriage between two desperately beautiful people turns desperately ugly, fatally weakening the popular, fairy tale belief that perfect beauty somehow equates with moral virtue. Not only does it give us a ringside seat at what became known as the celebrity trial of the century, it also provides insight into the complicated sexual politics and culture wars prevailing at the time, not to mention the online fan fever that shadowed every twist and turn of these court proceedings. His chapter subdivisions entitled The Tattoo Incident, The Disco Bloodbath, The Plane Kick, The Bottle Rape and The Close Fist Punch tell their own story. But Wally's never loses his humanity nor feels overwhelmed by the relentless unpleasantness of the Depp-Heard relationship. I thought they were two troubled but fascinating human beings, trying to find their way in the world, he tells me. They went through an extraordinary process, played out on a global stage. I never thought it was sordid or grim. Wally's is best known for his book The Great Post Office Scandal, which first exposed the multi-million-pound disaster that put innocent postmasters and postmistresses in jail. He has since made 2 panorama programs on the subject, and helped right a terrible national wrong. People say, why bother with Depp-Heard after the post office scandal? And I say, why not? All human life is here, he adds. In his new book, Wally's does not shy away from investigating the most notorious aspect of the Depp-Heard affair. During the first trial it was revealed Depp finally decided to divorce Heard after she deliberately defecated in their bed for a prank, although she denied this and claimed it was Boo. Guilty or innocent, it seems unlikely she will ever shake off the Amber Turd nickname bequeathed to her during the trial. In a fearless bid for clarity on this subject, Wally's sent the only documentary evidence available, the poop photographs used in court, to Professor Chuka Nwakalo CBE, a respected consultant gastroenterologist at the University Hospitals Coventry and Warwickshire NHS Trust.